7 weeks, and Social Security. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I do want to take some time to talk about Social Security and what is going on between now and the next 7 weeks, as I have seen some concerns down below in the comment section, and I've had some of you here in the community reaching out through email asking me what is going on and how is this going to impact me and my monthly benefit, as well as those benefits administered by the Social Security Administration, as this will impact about 70 million people. So let's get into it and talk about what's going on right now and what's going to be happening here over the next 7 weeks and what have they recently said out of Congress as well as the administration. However, really quickly before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching the latest details, hitting the wire, doing the research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay posted on what's actually going on and how it may impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course anything popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of. So again, there's a lot of things that are going on. It's a very busy, confusing, and uncertain time, and no matter what, I'll be here for you every single day. That's my promise, and as always, I'm sticking to it. So again, thanks so much. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Let's get into it and talk about what's going on here, what they recently said, and what this means for millions of Social Security beneficiaries. All right, so now we've been hearing about this for a very long time now. In fact, about 3, 4, 5, 6 months or so, we've been hearing about this, and as of recently, the urgency is getting to be a little bit more. In fact, I've been talking about this here over the last couple months, saying, let's not worry about it right now, but here's the thing. The time is ticking away, okay? Now, again, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to start worrying about this now, but here's the thing. Congress and the administration are really dragging their feet on this thing. And again, we've got to watch this one very closely, okay? Now, again, I want to say this really quickly before I get any further into this video. I am not here to instill fear in anybody. I'm not here to scare people. I'm not here to do that, ever. I'm here to inform, I'm here to educate, and I'm here to help you out in any way that I can and to bring you the latest details, okay? So just want to make that very clear. I'm never here to scare people, not my style. That's not what I'm here to do, okay? But rather, I want to let you know what's actually going on here. All right, so what I'm talking about is the debt ceiling, okay? Let's talk about this for a minute here, as this again is in the headlines. And again, I want to point out some remarks out of Kevin McCarthy, who is the Speaker of the House, as well as the administration, okay? Very key players when it comes down to the debt ceiling and what is going on there, okay? All right, so first off, we've been seeing this a lot lately, which is in the event of a default or, something along the lines of the debt ceiling not being increased or some type of basically, dragging of their feet on the debt ceiling, basically this could actually come back and delay the distribution of Social Security benefits. Now, like I said, please don't worry about this yet. Let's worry about it here in about 7 weeks or so. But again, this time is ticking away very, very fast here, and they have come together not even the slightest bit on this. They've done literally nothing, okay? Unless they're working behind the scenes and behind closed doors that they're not telling us about. But for the most part, I think they're watching this pretty closely here, and we have a close pulse on this. And for the most part, they've done nothing other than go back and forth at each other, okay? So anyway, let's talk through this. So first up, we recently heard some remarks out of Kevin McCarthy, and which by the way, Kevin McCarthy is the Speaker of the House, okay? He has indicated that they've basically done nothing on the debt ceiling, and he said that they probably should be worried about the debt ceiling because the administration is not talking. Now again, as you know, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for any length of time now, I don't necessarily take political sides in my videos, but rather I give it to you as far as what's being released out there, okay? So sometimes my videos, talk about one side or the other. So again, I'm not taking political sides. I'm simply saying it's typical politics. It's a blame game. They all point their fingers at each other and say, it's their fault, right? Rather than looking in the mirror and actually taking personal responsibility like they should be for all this stuff, they always love to point fingers, right? So that's what they're classically known for, is pointing the fingers at everybody else and saying, it's their fault, rather than looking in the mirror and saying, hey, maybe it's my fault, right? Gee, I don't know, personal responsibility. Maybe they should do that for once. But of course, they won't. Anyway, basically what it comes down to is Kevin McCarthy is indicating the administration is not talking. and therefore they're not coming together on something, okay? So this is where we currently stand on this. Now again, time is ticking away. The reason that I say time is ticking away on this is because we know this much. A couple months ago, I'm going to say about 2 months ago. Now again, it could be 2.5 months ago, give or take about 2 months ago. Janet Yellen, the Secretary of the Treasury, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen was out and she indicated the Treasury has enough money right now to keep the government funded. Well, by the way, this was about 2.5 months ago or 2 months ago, whatever it was. She said at that time, the government, or as in the Treasury, has enough money to keep the government funded for about the next couple months out until about early June. Well, guess what? As of right now, as of this filming, as of right now, that's about 7 weeks away, give or take a little bit. Now, obviously, is she talking like June 1st? Is she talking June 12th? Is she talking June 21st? We don't know that, okay? She just said basically early June. Well, that's not that far away. About 7 weeks, give or take a few days. Obviously, we're looking at about 7 weeks until what Janet Yellen has indicated. That's all the money they had, which, by the way, at that time that she indicated that, the Treasury had $358 billion, basically at their disposal to do what they needed to do with it. In other words, pay the bills for the federal government. And she also said they were going to be taking extraordinary measures to make sure that all of the, the accounting and the finances of the Treasury and the federal government were accounted for. But again, once they're out of cash, they're out of cash, okay? They're broke. It's basically the reality of most people right now is when somebody runs out of cash, do they just wave a magic wand and more cash appears? Not for the average person, but for the federal government, that's how it works, okay? They just print more money or they allocate more money. So unfortunately for us, we can't do that. I wish that were the case. If you have a magic wand or a crystal ball or something like that, let me know. Let's get some money rolling here, right? But unfortunately, that is not the case for all of us. But it is for them, okay? So when it comes down to it, this is what we're looking at. Now, as of right now, they've essentially made no progress on the debt ceiling, but I've also been saying this for a while as well, which is they're going to drag their feet on this thing, okay? They will drag their feet on this thing out until the very end because it gives them the most leverage when it comes down to negotiations. However, Kevin McCarthy, like I said, has indicated, hey guys, I'd be kind of worried. He even, as far as this debt ceiling, the whole thing goes, I would be worried because there's not really a whole lot of negotiating going on. Well, yup. But again, I want to say this much. Let's not worry about it yet, okay? If we fast forward another, say, month, and we're now down to, say, if we shave off another 4 weeks and we're down to, say, 3 weeks left, or 2 weeks left until Janet Yellen has indicated that they're going to be out of cash, then the story might change a little bit. But as of right now, like I said, we still have a little bit more time here, but, we've been talking about this for 3, 4 months, 5 months now, and we've known that this time was coming. But considering how close we're getting here and a whole lot of progress is not being made on this thing, well, let's just kind of hold tight here for a little bit longer. But in the event of a default, or in the event that the federal government can no longer pay the bills because Congress has not come together and done their work, whatever they decide to do, well then, yes, this could potentially delay the distribution of payments when it comes to Social Security. Now, again, I want to say this much. It is not going to stop payments, but according to what I've been finding on this and the research that I've been doing on this, everything like that, it looks like it could delay the distribution of payments. Not stopping, the money will still arrive, but maybe it will be delayed. And delayed being how long? Good question. Not really sure. Nobody seems to give that indication. I'm not sure if delayed means like 1 day, if delayed means 3 days, 3 weeks, a week. Not really sure. Didn't indicate that. It seems like there's no indication out there floating around on that. So I've tried to find it. Like, what does delayed mean? You know what I mean? I want to know the definition as far as delayed mean. How long? How long are we talking here? Okay. So, like I said earlier, please don't worry about this right now. Nothing to worry about yet, okay? Let's continue to watch this. I will continue watching this closely. We will see what Congress is going to do going forward. We'll see if the administration and Congress start working together on this thing. But as of right now, they're literally just playing a game of chicken, okay? Remember chicken? Kind of funny. Anyway, but it's basically what they're doing, okay? It's just a little standoff here, and they're just not budging. Either side, okay? So either way, this is what it comes down to. I've seen a lot of concerns down below in the comment section. I've had a few of you reaching out saying, I don't know what to do right now. They're not doing anything. Is this going to affect my benefit? Well, right now, no. But at some point in the next couple months, it could. Okay, but either way, I want to say this again. Benefits will not be stopping, but again, according to what they're saying, is benefits could be delayed. Delayed being, we don't know, a couple days, couple weeks, I don't know. They don't give that indication. They just say delayed. Well, I wish they were having a little more clarity on that because I want to know. You know what I mean? Does delayed mean like 3 hours? You know, we could probably live with that. We don't want it to be, but I mean, we could probably live with that. Delayed 3 weeks? Well, that's going to be very detrimental for a lot of people, right? Anyway, let me continue watching this, but again, I want to point this out here. The time is ticking. We're watching this thing count down here, and this is what it's coming to. So, again, I know I've said it like 4 times already. Please do not worry about this yet, okay? Let's come back. Let's talk about this again in about a month and see where we're at. And again, at that point, let's talk about it in like mid to late May. At that point, if they don't come together on an agreement, well then we're going to be seeing all kinds of alarm bells going. We're going to see the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen coming out making all kinds of statements saying, "Hey guys, check it out. Remember that 358 billion that we had like 3 months ago? Yeah, we're down to like 12 billion or something like that. You know what I mean? They're not going to be sitting on much anymore. But again, we will see those indications out of Janet Yellen, and we'll be seeing all kinds of indications at that point. So let's come back and reconvene on this in, I don't know, a month and a half. Well, not a month and a half. That's going to be too late at that point. Let's come back in about a month here. But again, I want to come back and hit on this really quickly because I've seen those concerns down below. I just want to reassure you there's nothing to be concerned about yet. And again, I want to say this much as well. They're going to milk this thing out. Let's be real for a second. They're going to milk this thing out all the way until the end. I don't anticipate a default. I don't anticipate that they're going to drag their feet on this and go into a situation where they don't come together on an agreement. They will come together on something. That would be my anticipation. They always do, but I do think they're going to milk this thing out as close to the end as they possibly can because that gives them the greatest leverage as far as getting what they want because time is no longer on their side. They can't keep dragging their feet. They've got to make action, right? So that would be my anticipation. You see this all the time with negotiations. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens here. So either way, want to give you a really quick update here. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands upon thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, take care, and catch you again later.